Hey guys, welcome back. Shadowcoast here. We are playing BattleTech. In this episode, we are reviewing update 1.2, which was released, I want to say, a week ago or so now, as of the time of this recording. I'm going to run through all the changes update 1.2 brings in this episode. We're probably not going to get into a lot of action, and I'm going to be reading through a laundry list of updates. I want to make this comprehensive, so completely understand if you tune out. I'm going to start with the highest or biggest pieces, biggest changes to the game, and then I'll get through the bug fixes at the end, so you guys don't get bored and you can tune out if you so choose. First of all, combat morale has been replaced with resolve. Players now gain a consistent amount of resolve every round of combat and can use it to activate precision strike and vigilance. The amount of resolve gained each round is determined by the morale on board your ship. Right here, this is very important, guys. It's a key change to the game. You should and will be using precision strike and vigilance a lot more often. That's something I've had to quickly adapt to. The overall morale of your crew and mech warriors, out of the maximum possible 50 points, morale can be raised by more lavish spending on salaries and luxuries, as well as by constructing recreational upgrades in the dropship. Be careful. If your morale is too low, you may encounter negative events. Higher morale also generates more resolve per turn in combat, which you can use to trigger certain special abilities. I don't have the math on this, unfortunately. If I figure it out, I'll be sure to post and let you guys know. The next biggest piece, or I don't want to say biggest, but big piece, is the memorial wall. If you go to your barracks up here on the memorial wall, you can now, commemorate lost mech warriors. Now, we have been very fortunate to keep everybody alive. It's been painstaking because we play a gazillion procedural missions that are way under our level that we know we can win. This is an Iron Man Impossible mode campaign, and that's why we do it here. But the memorial wall added to the Argo, players can now access a list of fallen mech warriors and view a variety of statistics they logged during their mercenary careers. So if we had lost one, you'll see different events pop up. Unfortunately, I don't think we can view any of them until they are put on the memorial wall. New events. A number of new mercenary events have been added to the game. If you watch the most recent episode, I believe it will be posted mid-September actually. If I look at the schedule here, you will see there was an interesting one on Behemoth. I don't want to give any spoilers, but now it gets a little more complex and interesting. That's going to impact the game. I'm very excited. I think they needed to add a lot more events. So events are, for example, things that happen on the Argo. You could have a movie night, you can have poker night, a bunch of other stuff, and a bunch of new stuff coming up, which is exciting, and I'm sure you'll see it through this campaign as we continue to play through it. Improvement to save game management. Added ability to create custom names for manual saves. Now, we cannot save the game because this is an Iron Man mode, but if we click to desktop, right before we quit, we do, since there's only one save, we can actually name it. For Iron Man mode, it's irrelevant because it's just one save, so if you name it, you can name it, or, if you want. Permanent saves are marked with gold triangle icons and tooltips. We are only playing in Iron Man mode through the update, so I don't have anything else to show you there. Added % progress to save game refresh, which is nice so you can see where you are in the overall priority mission storyline. Added the ability for users to disable warning when deleting save games. If you so want to, I play Iron Man mode, so there's only one save. Deleting a save game no longer scrolls back to the top of the list each time. That is huge, at least from the previous thing where it saved a game like every 10 seconds and you had a gazillion of them, which made it impossible to delete. I did post, if you have a lot of save games, I did post a quick and efficient way to delete all save games yet still save your campaign game. Check that out on my YouTube channel. Hopefully that is helpful. Quality of life improvements. They added the ability to restart in any combat mission without loading a save game, excludes Iron Man, so that's not relevant to us. Added initiative status icon overlays for mech warrior portraits in combat. On the portraits on the bottom, it now says, are you initiative phase 2, 3, 4, etc. That is actually very helpful since I don't have to figure it out and think through it. Great add. Added more sorting options for inventory items. So if we go to the mech bay, and you know, you can see here. I thought they had all of these. Um, Let me see if we try to refit this. Alright, so they did add, I think, support weapons, which is nice. Doesn't really look all that different. One thing that they added, and I think this was in 1.1, was check store, which is nice, so you can immediately jump to the store, making it quicker. So yeah, they added that. Components are now sorted logically in the store in the mech bay. When we were looking at that before, just to show you, before they would have it all over the place. So they would have like your AC-20 ammo up here, then your AC-20 down here. Now you can see AC-20 is sorted together, so the ammo is right below it. That was a huge improvement. Saves a lot of time scrolling through looking for things. So thank you, Harebrained Schemes and Paradox. Added more color swatches for mercenary outfit color schemes. So we will take a look at that. They also added new floating text for precision strikes, which is nice. Added pop-up messages when mech with invalid configuration is detected, so you make sure you don't go into combat missing something. Added new pop-up for selling multiple items in the store. We will check that out in a second. Added ultra-wide version of main menu cinematic for 21:9 aspect ratios. Thank you so much. That's actually not applicable to me, but for those of you who use that aspect ratio, that'll make a huge difference. Also, mech selection weight class filters change from individual toggles to exclusive subsets, including new all button added to show all weight classes. Makes it easier to sort. Alright, so let's take a look here. This said added more color swatches for mercenary outfit color schemes. Interesting. Looks like they have like a lot of yellows, greens, blues. I didn't really notice before. What did we pick before? I think we wanted black. Yeah, we're just going to reset and save it. UI. We now show more proper numbers of health boxes and X's on the after action review screen when someone with low guts is incapacitated or killed. In Iron Man mode, that is not applicable because if they're incapacitated, they're permanently killed, unfortunately. Fix the mech-based storage list so we don't clear the filters when you scrap a mech part. I didn't really notice that one, but thank you. The timeline now reflects modified mech warrior names and portraits. Pressing escape now closes delete campaign prompts in the load campaign menu. Fix an issue with the discard changes prompt displaying in certain circumstances after exiting video settings with no changes made. To think about that one. Again, I don't think it's applicable, at least not for my campaign here. Fix an issue with using square bracket characters in save game search field. The enter key now works on mission success, mission fail screens. Tooltips no longer displayed for planets behind planets, summary panel, and navigation. Let me see. You have to kind of click on it. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Oh, I see. So it's just like the little arrow thing. I think it got screwed up before. Ooh, can we travel? We can travel to Brinton already? In our first main campaign, Brinton was a great farming ground for good mechs. Something you want to keep in mind. Added a default firing arc when no weapons are available or when Ace Pilot moves after shooting. That's actually really helpful because I didn't use Ace Pilot too much in the last campaign. We just got Ace Pilot on, I believe, Medusa, so that'll help us set up for the next move. So that's a great addition. Remove the back button during heraldry creation when a new account is registered. Fix the warning prompt message in the mech bay. Fix the visual only issue with heat efficiency rating after equipping heat exchangers. We saw heat exchangers once and then we never found them again. I actually think that I should be keeping an eye out for heat exchangers. Where's the store? Because we have not been looking at them. So I think they'll be helpful, um, especially when we get into our assault mechs. Just the better heat management, which would be nice. Fix an issue in which items purchased from the store via the mech lab check store button disappeared until a refit is reloaded after reverting changes. Long story short, when we're in the mech bay, working on a mech, um, this button would sometimes disappear, which was annoying. But so now they fixed that, which is great. The mech lab underweight warning now only displays if at least 0.5 tons are free, which is great. Sometimes you have like 0.025 something, and you have nowhere to put it. You can't assign it to armor, you can't do anything, and that was really annoying. So I'm glad they did that. Remove the empty month option when registering a new account. Not sure what that means. Fixed a tooltip on incomplete mechs in mech bay. Fix game options menu opening when using escape to close the withdrawal confirmation pop-up opened via button in the upper right corner. Okay. Fix heat exchanger icons sometimes not loading. Did not realize that. Fix empty available weapons and equipment sections when customizing mechs. Fix several layout and fill issues in mech bay. Fix save game slot hitbox areas so rapid deletes won't double click and load save and load saves. That was annoying. Again, in my video where you can delete all of them at once. Finding that workaround is a lot more useful if you do have a lot of save games that are slowing down the load times. Fix text overflow and welcome commander message pop-up. Hardpoint icons are now consistent with weapon icons. That is awesome. I never noticed that, but that's good to know. Let me see here. Fix scroll position of event descriptions persisting between events in some cases. Fix an issue where the mech paper doll was mirroring the structure displayed for the rear view. Interesting. Fixed overheat warning not always showing for melee or DFA attacks. Would you overheat for melee? I could see a DFA. I didn't know. We've never been in a situation. We don't use DFA, especially in Iron Man Impossible mode. It's so risky. But that's good to know. That'd be interesting if you do your DFA and overheated. So learning a lot from this. Updated mech bay tutorial information. Fix some orange buttons being transparent. That's good to know. Sometimes this would be transparent. Let me see. Fixed. Well, there's nothing to do there. Sorry. Fix some. Update game tips to reflect new morale mechanic. That's good to know. I think they updated this piece just to let you know at the bottom that it's turned into resolve. Fixed display of overheat shutdown warnings overlapping when called shot is active. Okay, good to know. Fix bug where canceling the commander's customization without changes could still cause a confirmation pop-up to come up. Fix disabled ability tooltips being displayed in tutorial under specific circumstances. Mech warrior killed in action no longer display injury text in the ARR after report, I believe. Disabled zoom camera during multi-targeted attacks. Okay, that's good to know. I never really zoomed on those. I try to zoom further out. Fixed cases where melee camera would spin around rapidly prior to attack. Thank you, that's happened once or twice to me. Fixed camera taking too long to focus on player, mech when attacked, sometimes missing the beginning of impacts. That's annoyed me. There are some animations they still need to fix that we've even seen after update 1.2. Prevent the follow cam from moving up over the top of the unit it's following. AI. So there are a lot of stuff, guys, and like I said, I want to make this comprehensive. The rest are mostly bug fixes, it looks like, in general information. So again, I don't want to waste your time, but if you'd rather me read the list that I printed out from Paradox and Harebrained Schemes, I'm happy to do so. I want to make this comprehensive. I just also want to give you a heads up that the rest of this is me literally reading, and if I can show you something, I'll show it to you. Let me continue on. AI. Mountain hold map bug fix. Widening a specific path to prevent inefficient AI movement. They would get caught in certain paths and you can just pummel them. So that's nice. Fix convoy escape zone on Escarpment Valley map to prevent units from blocking mission completion. Thank you. Escarpment Valley map bug fix to tweak the road area to remove rocks that were bottlenecking and blocking convoy units. Expanded play bounds on Alpine Cathedral. Destroy base map to include spawners to prevent pathing issues for reinforcements. Okay, that's good because it makes more sense, but it's going to make it a little more difficult, especially on harder difficulty, higher Atlas or difficulty levels. Bleak Ridge map update to fix broken spawns. Thank you for Bleak Ridge. Sometimes it would spawn units that were literally off the map that you could not target, and then then you have to withdraw, which was annoying. Sunken Hills map bug fix, moving some spawners and shifting the terrain slightly to improve play and stop units from being blocked. Fix the possibility that the AI would take paths that would get it stranded. Fix the bug in jump selection state where it was looking through the wrong list of enemies, which included dead ones and was causing DFA selections to not work sometimes. Fix the bad spawn location on Toxic Mire map with a movement of a spawner. Fix enemy vehicle spawning in assassinate contracts on split range maps, sometimes not being able to reach the player. Interesting. Bleak Ridge map bug fix, moving rocks to prevent movement blocker. Improve patrol route pathing. Fix case where AI would look at players' morale instead of its own when deciding whether to use precision strike. Okay, that's interesting. It was using our player morale rather than its own. Did not know that. Fix instance where an enemy mech takes no action when deciding whether to make a melee attack based on its target's unsteady state. Huh. So this explains a lot of what we've experienced, especially in our first full campaign. Sometimes the AI does crazy stuff, but basically these bug fixes will resolve a lot of it, which will increase the difficulty, which is good. I'm okay with that. Fixed case where AI would brace instead of performing opportunistic DFA attacks. Ooh, that's good to know. They're not going to brace. They're going to do DFA when they need to, especially if they're about to go down. I've noticed that. Fix multiplying support weapon damage by melee DFA multipliers. Okay. Accounts. Update and adjustments for GDRP compliance. Good to know. Modding metadata database. Switched over to using natural keys instead of guides where possible. Okay. Launcher. New force focus option in launcher to skip the disabling of ghosting in Windows to address potential crashing issues in some systems. We did not have any of those problems. But good to know they fixed it. Audio footsteps VFX now differentiate between biomes. That's awesome. It will sound different depending on the biome. We'll listen in closely. The sound in this game is amazing. The music's amazing, but the sound mechanics too are fantastic. Overall, they did a very good job, and those little details make for a strong game. In my opinion, this is Game of the Year. This is why I've spent hundreds of hours playing this game and hundreds of hours also posting content. So I love this game. I'm very excited for Flashpoints. More bug fixes. So we have about 3-4 pages of bug fixes. I'll rapid fire through these real quick, guys. Fix the case in the skirmish mech bay where copying a mech, then canceling would leave the phantom copy as an active mech. Fix the timeline freeze and planet arrival saves not being generated. Fix for game not progressing after loading specific autosaves. Fix an issue where adding illegal characters to the search filter would cause saves to not appear after text is cleaned up. I haven't added illegal characters. Removed old clear achievement debug hotkey. Fix to make the negotiation sliders reset properly after backing out of the launch configuration screen. DFA can now produce a pilot injury if you take both your own legs off with it. Makes sense. On capture-based missions, the player no longer targets the friendly dropship. I didn't even know you could do that. Never tried it. Updated portrait manager and new beard skinning. Fixed cases where ultra and high quality settings would be reversed after changing quality settings and restarting. Fixed Highlander animation when transitioning from idle to brace. Fix some background textures in Mech Bay. Fixed visual. So hold on, background textures.
Down here in the hole.
Okay, let me see. I didn't. Alright. Fix visual issue with MRB rating stars disappearing after reaching max rank. Fix MechWarrior training prompt for pilots with already maxed out skills. Fix some text that could show through the finance widget. Fix weapon hit effects, sometimes applying when weapons miss. Good, because sometimes it looks like it hit even though it missed. Fix background shadow and lance deployment menu. Fix facility decals and sandy mesa map. Fix galactic background showing during navigation menu transition into ultra-wide resolution. Fix rare cases where forest buff didn't apply on tiles with trees in some maps. That's good to know. Fix missing tooltips in mech bay for right leg armor bar. Huh. Interesting. Fix rare cases, Fix tooltip hitbox in mech bay where when multiple icons are present in the selected lance configuration. Fix building in raw cliffside missing collisions. Fix cases where objective success sound would play unnecessarily. Fix display of some rough terrain movement pips on Hidden Lagoon. Fix redundant VO barks when selecting done to end turn prior to contact with Op4. Added collision to tunnel on highway map. Equipment, weapons sold while in refit screen are removed from the refit interface to prevent work orders that include sold parts from being created. Fix potential soft lock if ejecting last mech warrior and withdrawing at the same time while confirming both prompts with enter key. Almost done. Fix, two more pages actually. Fix cranes not falling when lower strut is destroyed by mech impact. Fix parts of destroyed buildings reappearing after loading combat save. Fix some assassination contracts completing early after loading combat save, not retroactive. Fixed case of camera clipping through pirate base. Capturing all 3 silos during Itram attack. Now auto completes the mission. No longer requires moving mechs to the evac zone. That's nice. Fixed ice regions missing from map after loading a combat save. Fixed incorrect max head armor on Commando and Spider in Mech Lab. Was 30, now 45. Fixed possibility of sprinting mechs onto same position as Op4 mech in specific circumstance. Fix some missing incorrect movement pips in Hidden Lagoon. Fixed case where losing Silo Bravo could cause explosion of Silo Charlie in Itram attack. Fixed flickering shadows when mechs are idle. Fix some hairstyles and character creation being too reflective. That's awesome and hilarious. Fixed incorrect shadows displaying in barracks then when switching between rooms. Fix potential soft lock state after loading a combat save created by pressing enter to confirm save dialogue. Fix missing rain effect in medium and high graphics settings. Fix lightning issue in character creation with specific hairstyle and light combinations. Fix guards and portraits getting more intense after each save game until game restarted. Fixed display of rings around planets on loading screen. Fixed enemy reinforcements being unable to reach the player's mechs during simple battle contracts on the mine map. I don't know which one the mine map is. We'll have to check that out. Fix last applied portrait changes between applied to both commander and hired mech warrior. Alright, fix deleted save showing again after entering and moving text in search field. Fix buff icons for destroying buildings. Fix item selection not clearing in the store when switching to an empty tab. Fixed overheat audio alarms VO and VFX from not playing in certain circumstances. Fixed several cases where enemy units could spawn in stuck points. Fixed a spammy warning about melee weapons that can't technically fire but actually can. I have not encountered that. Fixed enemy contact being reported multiple times. That is helpful because it's confusing. You're like, are there 3 new groups or 2 or 1? Fixed bug where standing on an evac zone area prior to its appearance as an objective could block progression in specific missions. Fixed bug that put player in combat during Itram attack prior to enemy unit contact. Removed midair floating rocks from Smithin. I did not notice floating rocks, but that's awesome. Fixed path to Barter Town to be walkable as expected. Fixed cases where mechs would turn in place to attacking a target already in melee range. Fixed a bug when entering combat where neutral tab target buildings weren't starting combat, including some turret generators. Fixed ace pilots getting stability reduced twice if they fire then move. Fixed ace pilots using done not getting the appropriate stability reduction applied. When reserving an entire lance, only one pilot's VO bark is played instead of the entire team. Fixed issue where wrong the mech shadow was cast in the mech bay. Okay. weird wording there. Fixed typos in some pilot bios. Thank you, that did bug me, but I also had a reflection of their literacy. Fixed, by literacy, the literacy of the MechWarrior itself. Fix restore defaults in video settings not impacting resolution when in full screen mode for PC. I did not realize this game could be played. I guess it could be played on the Mac. Fix potential item duplication issue. Fix incorrect lighting when loading a save game where ship is docked to jump ship. Huh. Fix Duck Panther on Smithin map. Many additional small improvements and bug fixes. And a few known issues to be fixed before, or that they should be fixed now as of this post. A few campaign cinematic scenes have a grainy filter applied. Should fix that. Some causes of death on the memorial wall don't fit the UI layout. So they will resolve that. In fact, that should be resolved. So thank you guys for dropping in. This is update 1.2. It has gone live. I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. Appreciate a subscribe, a post. If I got anything wrong or anything changed, I took this off of the Paradox or BattleTech website, but they're constantly making improvements. I will be posting updates as they come out and reviews, just in case people are interested. Appreciate the support and catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.